15 and go.
You guys don't get to work with guys in the summer individually. How do you leave them in the spring, and what do you want them to get out of this last week leading into the?
Yeah, they got to understand exactly where we're at and what we need to do to improve, and it's their job. And I've always said this: the great football teams that I've been on and been a part of, the senior leadership grabs that group and they find a way to get better, and that's what's got to happen this summer. Because obviously, NCAA's we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to practice with them.
What do you go into the spring game wanting to see, or is that more for fans? I mean, you get something out of that?
The spring game, there's a part of you that just wants to get out and get healthy. There's a part of you that wants to execute. Obviously, you're always limited on what you do, and they're limited on what they do. So it's let the kids go out there, compete. I think it's their day. I think it's a day for them to go compete in front of our fans. And I think the most important thing is not lose anyone.
Yeah, I know injuries aren't something you discuss, but at the same time, you being here in year one, does it make it more difficult for you to get an idea of what guys are capable of as a unit?
Yeah, you want to have as much consistency as you can, and that means putting the same 5 guys out there over and over and over and over. And then they know how the guy beside them is going to react and how he's going to play. And then, because it all fits like a glove. You can't have individuals in Memphis. We all got to fit together. And, how we roll guys around. And, you want to get 5 best out there. So in spring is time to experiment with that. But we need to start building consistency and continuity.
Coach Moore was just talking about the difference between maybe it's not a drop, but it's a ball he considers catchable. So what's his range? Is he pretty reasonable, or does he?
I mean, you know what? I don't really think about his range, because I feel like I just want the quarterbacks to throw it in my direction. You know what I'm saying? And I need to make the play if he's throwing it in my direction. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. So when we'll put the tape on and Coach Moore, coach us up and say, well, you should have dove, you should have brought it in quicker and everything like that. And you receive the coaching, but personally, I feel like if it's in my direction, I have to find a way to make the play. Because, that's what the great receivers do. You know what I'm saying? Like Calvin Johnson and all those guys. Yeah, even, Sammy Watkins, the guys out of our conference, when you put the tape on them, the ball is just thrown in their direction and they find a way to make the play. So, if I want to be, a great receiver, I have to do those things.
You might have already answered this, but you kind of took an unusual path to get here. Yeah. How did that come about, and what was kind of your thought process through that?
I came from a small high school in upstate New York. It was my senior year roster for varsity football. It was about 17 kids. So we had like the state minimum. And I didn't get recruited heavily out of high school. I went Division III. And then I played 2 years. My first year I started getting some first team reps. And then the second season I started a lot until I had a few injuries. I had a sprained ankle and a hyperextended elbow. And I just, after the season was over, I just sent out a few emails, and I felt like maybe I could take college football beyond Division III. And I sent out some different schools, and I got a huge reaction from Charlie Wiles and Frank Beamer. And they told me that they would love for me to come down and walk on as a preferred walk-on. And I felt like it was a blessing that they wanted me to do that, because this is a great college football program. It's very prestigious, and I feel blessed that I'm here.